Hello and welcome to the KDF Friday Bulletin. I am Senior Private Jeff Mwangi. The Bulletin is a show to keep you updated on events undertaken by the Ministry of Defense over the week. In our highlights tonight, Cabinet Secretary for Defense meets senior KDF leadership and Ministry of Defense departmental heads. Cabinet Secretary Defense visits Strategic Communications Branch. Chief of the Defense Forces presides over the signing of performance contracts. Defense Ministry Annual Audit for Financial Year 2023-2024. To start us off, Hon Soipan Tuya, Cabinet Secretary for Defense, held a consultative meeting with the top Kenya Defense Forces leadership, headed by the Chief of Defense Forces, General Charles Kahariri, with a view of having a better understanding of the Kenya Defense Forces operations and current undertakings. Separately, the Cabinet Secretary held an introductory meeting with the Principal Secretary, Dr. Patrick Mariru, and the various heads of department in the Ministry of Defense. The Cabinet Secretary committed to supporting the Kenya Defense Forces leadership and the ministry departments while remaining accountable to the people of Kenya.
During the meeting with the KDF leadership, Honorable Tuya highlighted the importance of whole-of-government approach, noting that it is critical for the Ministry of Defense to work closely with the Parliament, other ministries, departments and agencies for the mutual benefit of the people of Kenya. In his remarks, General Kahariri pledged Kenya Defense Forces support to CS Defense in the achievement of her leadership roles and in ensuring that the ministry effectively functions as mandated. On his part, Dr. Mariru guaranteed the CS of his total support as well as that of the various departmental heads to ensure the ministry attains its objectives.
Today in our studio, we have the privilege of hosting Cabinet Secretary for Defense, Hon Soipan Tuya, as our guest anchor. The Cabinet Secretary visited Strategic Communications Branch at the Defense Headquarters to familiarize herself with the branch's undertakings. Take a look.
The Cabinet Secretary was received by Chief Stratcom Brigadier Paul Njuguna alongside other senior officers from the branch before undertaking a guided tour of the facility. During this visit, the Cabinet Secretary received an elaborate brief on the roles of the branch in support of the Kenya Defense Forces objectives through a narrative-led integration of the communication activities geared towards awareness creation on undertakings by the ministry.
Our values and mission, being transparent, we have to be accountable and we have to be responsive.
The Cabinet Secretary lauded the branch through its leadership for robustly and efficiently telling the Kenya Defense Forces story by amplifying the various activities, programs and operations being carried out across the country and beyond as mandated by the Constitution of Kenya 2010.
As I start my tenure at the helm of the Ministry of Defense, I am honored by the trust bestowed upon me by the President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces and the people of Kenya to lead this critical ministry, which plays a pivotal role in defending and protecting our nation's sovereignty and territorial integrity. I commend our service personnel for the good work and sacrifices they continue to make every day in honor of their duty. As I continue to familiarize myself with the docket, I have today visited the Strategic Communications Branch in recognition of its significant role in the dissemination of information about the ministry as mandated under the Constitution of Kenya. In recognition of these roles, I want to commend the Strategic Communications for keeping the public informed on our activities. An example of the important work at Stratcom is awareness creation to Kenyans, specifically on matters recruitment. Earlier this week, they released a press statement warning Kenyans on the fake recruitment advertisement circulating on online platforms. On this matter, I wish to reassure the public that KDF Recruitment will be advertised on the mainstream media, official Ministry of Defense website, as well as the official KDF social media platforms. I have been your guest anchor, Honorable Soipan Tuya, the Cabinet Secretary for Defense. Thank you.
Picking up from where the Cabinet Secretary for Defense left, our attention has been drawn to information circulating online regarding the recruitment process for the Kenya Defense Forces. The online platforms purport to advertise recruitment on behalf of the Kenya Defense Forces, and the announcements insinuate that application forms for recruitment of service personnel and civilian employees of the ministry and the exercise is claimed to begin on 26th August to 9th of September 2024. In light of this, the Ministry of Defense wishes to categorically clarify to the public that the Kenya Defense Forces has not advertised for any recruitment process, nor is it conducting any recruitment exercise at this time. The public is encouraged to report any suspicious activity or individuals purporting to recruit for the Kenya Defense Forces to the nearest police station or military camp. General Charles Kahariri, Chief of the Defense Forces, led the signing of the performance contract for the 2024-2025 financial year at the Defense Headquarters here in Nairobi. He congratulated the services and defense controlled units for their exemplary performances in the last financial year and urged the leadership to ensure performance contracting is cascaded to the lower management for continuous improvement.
During the ceremony, General Kahariri noted that the contract signed in the 21st cycle of Kenya Defense Forces performance contract outlined explicitly the statement of responsibility and strategic intent upon which the KDF is to improve service delivery and accountability. Performance contract provides shared commitment among KDF leadership and defense-controlled units to come up with measurable targets and set parameters in fulfilling all its obligations.
Dr. Patrick Mariru, the Principal Secretary for Defense, chaired an introductory meeting with the team of auditors from the Office of the Auditor General, led by Director of Audit, Mr. Daniel Ndungu. In his remarks, Dr. Mariru assured the team of full cooperation from the ministry to guarantee the successful completion of this audit, which is an annual requirement for all ministries, departments and agencies in accordance with the Constitution of Kenya.
During the meeting, the PS urged the Ministry of Defense staff to collaborate with the auditors and provide all necessary documentation to facilitate an efficient and timely audit process. On his part, the Director of Audit acknowledged the Ministry of Defense cooperation in the audit process, noting that this collaboration is crucial for the audit's efficiency, commending the Ministry for being the first to submit the annual report and financial statements.
Kenya Air Force officers undertaking an induction course had the privilege of visiting Marambati Factory Limited in Limuru. The visit was led by Colonel Wilson Yatich, the commandant of the Kenya Air Force Training Wing School. During the visit, Major General retired Dedan Gishuru, the director of the factory, expressed his delight at meeting the new officers. He shared insights from his long and distinguished career, which began in 1963 when he first took to the skies as an Air Force pilot. He recounted memorable incidents that shaped his careers and emphasized the benefits of patience, self-respect and resilience. The Commander Kenya Navy Base Mtongwe, Brigadier Abraham Kipchirchir Biwott, held his inaugural Clear Lower Deck at the Sailors Club Mtongwe. Clear Lower Deck is a naval tradition where the ship's crew muster at the ship's upper deck for a particular purpose, including an address from the commanding officer. In his address, Brigadier Biwott commended the sailors for their continued dedication and efforts in fulfilling the Kenya Navy's mandate of safeguarding the nation's maritime interests. He encouraged all present personnel to maintain their commitment with professionalism while carrying out all the tasks assigned to them. Kenya Army troops based at Idido in Marsabit County conducted civil-military cooperation activities and community engagements at Forole. The aim of the event was to encourage peace among the local communities as well as enhance civil-military cooperation. During the engagement, Major David Obwire, the officer commanding Idido Military Camp, urged the locals to preach peace in order to ensure communities coexist peacefully. He also held a meeting with the youth led by Mr. Elema and the area chief Hassan Diba, among other leaders within the area.
The six-day tournament that commenced on 16th August 2024 included a football tournament and water distribution to the local community and Forole School. The event brought together a total of 6 teams from KDF Idido Camp and neighboring villages of Elbor, Forole and Eliadi. Additionally, Kaliti Queens and Sabar FC of Forole and Elbor respectively also took part in the tournament. The event brought together more than 200 area residents.
That's all for today. Thank you for watching. We look forward to your feedback via our official social media handles and your viewership next Friday for the KDF Friday Bulletin. I am Senior Private Jeff Mwangi. Goodbye.